So you never want to be in the water with an alligator. Because if you're in the water with an alligator, the only thing the alligator might see is your little head above the water. The alligator might mistake your tiny little head as a small bird, small duck. The alligator might approach you in the water, more than likely attack you, take you under the water first, drown you, and then once under the water, the alligator is finally going to realize that it cannot swallow your full body. Alligators will never go after anything and try to eat it if they can see how big it is. So if the alligator knows it cannot swallow it whole, the alligator is not going to go after something and try to eat it. Human beings are not on the menu for alligators, but being in the water with one, your chances of getting attacked goes up a lot more. If you're not from Florida and you want to go for a swim, you might want to stick to the pools or the beaches. Leave the lakes and the canals for the alligators, guys. Anywhere here in Florida that there's fresh water, there is a chance of an alligator living in that water. So just be very aware of your surroundings out here, guys. Then you're probably wondering, one small bucket of rats, is that going to be enough to feed all of these alligators? It is not. Alligators are cold-blooded animals. They do not have to eat every single day like us, like mammals. Alligators can go long periods of time without food if they need to. A full-grown alligator out there in the Everglades in the wild can go anywhere between 2 and 3 years without food. But not these alligators here. These alligators are very well fed. Once a month, we dump in over 1,000 pounds of meat. We use beef, chicken, pork, fish, farm-raised rats and rabbits. And 1,000 pounds of meat once a month, that is more than enough to feed all the alligators in this pond. Alligators can also jump around 2/3 of their body size in and out of water. So if you have an airboat coming up, just something to think about. If you have an airboat coming up, an alligator jumps onto your airboat, what's the best thing to do?
Give him a rat.
The best thing to do is you're going to want to grab the person sitting next to you and throw them in front of you. And then you jump off the boat. No, I'm kidding, guys. They're not going to bother you out there. I'm joking around. The alligators that you have to worry about are the ones that are fed by us. One of the worst things that you can ever do to a wild alligator is what I'm doing right now, and that is feeding them. Alligators have a natural fear of man, but once you feed an alligator, they lose that fear. All it takes is one time you feed an alligator out in the wild once. Now that alligator is going to start coming up to people looking for food. It is also illegal to feed wild alligators. When reported, Florida Fish and Wildlife authorities, they will remove those alligators from their habitat and even kill those alligators. For your safety and the safety of the wild alligators here in Florida, never feed a wild alligator. Alligators have a hard time seeing directly in front of them. They really only can see off to their sides. So that's why I'm trying to get the rats to land more towards the sides of their heads. Also, if you notice when the alligators are chewing the rats, are eating the rats, they're not chewing the rats. Alligators swallow everything that they eat whole. The teeth of the alligator mainly used for gripping down on their prey and crushing bones. When alligators eat their food in the water, alligators cannot swallow their food under the water. They have to bring their heads out of the water in order to swallow what they're eating. If the alligator takes down or swallows too much water with the food it's trying to eat, the alligator can drown. So they have to bring their heads out of the water when they're eating their food in the water. All right, guys, this is my last rat. I'm going to get it out there as far as I can. When alligators eat their food in the water, alligators cannot swallow their food under the water.